The time is 10:58 a.m., May 9th, 2025. These are really, really good, very good. Haribo gummy. Okay. Before I was born, 3 years before I was born, my mother's soul left her body. It's been around her, it goes in and out. What came in was Satan. It was a trial that I had to go through on earth, not knowing that Satan was my mom. Satan is, you're dealing with extraterrestrials. So Satan can plant himself in a human body, okay? And he can also come out, get out, move out of the human body, and go and cause evil acts on the planet. That's what he's done ever since Satan attacked the Garden of Eden, which was in Egypt. Okay? When I say that my mother has one of the kindest souls I've ever known, I know it because I've been here legally related to her since I was born. But you don't see it very much because most of the time Satan was sitting inside of her. That's who I've seen. It wasn't Bonnie. Bonnie is not a bloodthirsty racist. Bonnie is not. Bonnie tried to escape my grandpa and my grandma when she was really young, and she ran away to San Francisco. But the grandpa, mine, her parents, and my aunt, who's just a total white survivalist, will talk about it, went to San Francisco and dragged her back to the pits of this sort of people that I can testify I grew up with. That was Bonnie. That's her spirit. That's her soul who called to me that day. The Bonnie that works with all these really evil people, that sends letters and tells me that nothing's happening here. That's not Bonnie, that's Satan sitting inside her doing it. That letter wasn't even written by her. I could tell it wasn't written by her. She just made sure she puts the letter with some signature to look like it. Bonnie's soul goes in and out. That's how I know. When I say that, I was baffled 7 years ago, completely stunned, that Bonnie was doing everything against me, when it was obvious that I was obviously trying to resist a white nationalist movement that was taking place in my country. Because Bonnie never gave a lot of indication of being a bloodthirsty racist. No. Never. And I can testify to that in front of a jury. I didn't know where it was coming from. The rest of the family, the legal relatives, yeah, they definitely did. But not Bonnie. So I was really baffled. That's Bonnie's soul that called to me that day. I was so glad that Bonnie's still alive because my mother, God willing, she'll live through it. When Satan finally gets out of her body, Bonnie's soul will come back and she's really, really sweet. Bonnie is such a nice person. And you'll be baffled, like, how did you do this, Bonnie? You'll ask her that. She'll probably say she doesn't remember, doesn't know what you're talking about. Or she'll blame. She'll blame because she doesn't know what she was doing. I swear on this, I put money down on this. So when I say I don't have the skill set to handle that, no, I can't deal with someone who doesn't know what they did when they were doing it for 7 years. I'm just not skilled like that. You can bring in a doctor or something to handle that, okay? But I know that's what will happen. I almost put money down on it. I love my mom. I'm so glad that God is keeping her safe. Bonnie's soul is around her. And that's, I think, enough. It gets complicated, like you're talking about purgatory. So Bonnie did some sins because 3 years before I was born, she hooked up with the man who's on my birth certificate. Okay, I strongly believe that's not my biological father. I'll never get a straight answer from Bonnie. I don't want to persecute Bonnie, the kind person, online. But that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm expelling Satan from her body. I'm getting Satan out of her and I'm putting Bonnie's soul back. So what am I doing? I'm confronting and talking about my family, my legal relatives. And the family history wasn't Bonnie. Hold on, lots of noise. She actually has a defense, but it's a spiritual one. Oh, I know it too. It was like she was under possession. Yeah, when she did some of these really bad child abuse things, it wasn't her. But a court of law, you can't say that, I know. My mother has the kindest soul that you'll ever meet if you ever met her. And she's not a bloodthirsty racist. You wouldn't understand why she's doing this. But what you know of her, if anyone knows her, or what I've said, isn't her, it's Satan. If you believe in that sort of stuff where Satan will possess a person and get him to do terrible things, so you're going to tell me that Adolf Hitler wasn't under Satan's possession? Okay, fine. I believe he was. I totally do. It's safe for me to go online no matter what the Washington, D.C. cops think, and with their Department of Mental Health, they want me to go online. Say I'm imagining the house. Say I'm a schizo, loca, loquita in their casa. I'll just film them. But I don't think they're going to get to go on the internet today on live film. I don't believe so. I'm waiting for my mother's soul to return. It left 3 years before I was born. She did some sins with on the birth certificate father. She did some sins before she left the body entirely. Bonnie left her body and Satan planted himself in it. She did some sins with my aunt and that Christian camp. It was a survivalist, recluse Christian camp. Hippie, it was hippie Christians. It gets real sketchy. I remember it up to the point of age 5. My aunt, that's a whole nother talking point. So Bonnie did some sins to get her soul temporarily put in purgatory. You can go there and then get released back into heaven. Look this up, the stuff. It's not permanent. However, you might understand it. You think you have to physically die. No. Bonnie's soul just went into purgatory at the time that I carried her body when I was sleeping in my dream. I carried Bonnie to a different place. It was away from the dark and it was away from all the people around her. And at that point in time, Bonnie's soul went into purgatory and then it was out. By the time it called to me, it was out. And it's in heaven waiting to go back into Bonnie. So Bonnie has been reborn, her soul. Bonnie will go through, when Bonnie snaps out of this and Satan's out of her, Satan's left, he's been rebuked out of her, and Bonnie's soul goes back in, Bonnie's going to have been reborn. My mother will have a Christian rebirth, born again. Okay, that's why I kept saying what I experienced was super, super intense. But, you know, I'm her daughter. She carried me for 9 months. I'm her daughter. She not only carried me, but I was raised by her. She wasn't around a lot, but that was Satan. So, of course, if anyone's going to have a super intense spiritual experience, it'd be probably with their mom or their husband, one of their kids. I had mine with my mom. I'm so grateful to God she's alive. Right now, she's not happy about this house. Right now, who knows what Satan, it's not her, it's Satan. Satan's all pissed off. Satan's sitting in her. Satan's planted in her today. He'll leave after a certain point today, and the Bonnie spirit will go back in around her enough to get her to stop taking actions that the devil's driving her to do. And she'll do something really sweet like garden, paint. That's her. That's Bonnie. She doesn't want to do nothing to nobody. So that's what I mean. If you believe in this sort of stuff, my mom gets possessed by the devil. I've seen it. Yeah. That will stop, and her soul will have been reborn, and she'll have a Christian rebirth. And Bonnie, that I deal with, me and my spouse deal with, will be really, really sweet. It doesn't mean that Bonnie comes to the wedding. No, I know, but no, we can't invite my mom to the wedding. But we can have Bonnie, my mom's Christian rebirth, born again. We can. I would love this. We can have her in our life, yeah, but it's just got to be with some structure. There's a lot of structure set around that. Absolutely. So, thank you, God, for giving me the green light to say this now. And thank you, God, for sparing Bonnie's life on earth so that she can be reborn. She already has been, and her soul will go back in. And there'll be plenty of time in the coming years for people to forgive Bonnie. And maybe there's other people who share the same experience that I have with a loved one. They just don't understand what's driving a relative of theirs to they just can't believe this, right? Well, it might be a force of evil, if you believe that sort of stuff, that is actually driving your relative to do that. So I would suggest keep praying intensely for them and keep casting that evil out, because the evil can't stay forever in your relative. Keep casting it out, casting that evil back into hell. And I don't know about other souls, except I can speak about my mother's, because I had a spiritual experience that I went through this myself with her soul. Her soul's in heaven waiting to come right back. And I look forward to Bonnie being Bonnie again and doing really nice, kind things. She's actually a really nice woman. But that's not the Bonnie people have really seen. She's the woman that tried to get away from these relatives that I'm legally related to and run away with the hippies. I mean, she just wanted to get away. But it wasn't God's will. Strangely, he had her destiny come back. These relatives went and took her back. It was pretty scandalous and very tragic for Bonnie. And the aunt after that brought her into that hippie Christian camp in Washington State. I know where it is. I know all about it. And then after that, Bonnie started doing sins that got Bonnie's soul to just briefly be in purgatory. Until then, Bonnie was going straight to heaven. So, no, the people I'm related to aren't the best. No. Bonnie actually gets out of that. It was her fate, God's will, for Satan to actually be sitting in her for 3 years before I was born, up until pretty soon he should be leaving. He should be leaving her body for good. I'm going to get on my knees again. I'm going to pray for my mom. And definitely this needs to be discussed in more ways than just this short thing I just did. Oh, of course. And I'm going to pray that America and the world forgives my mother, and that I'm going to pray that they, even if they don't believe in what I'm saying about possession, Christian born again, even if they don't believe it, I'm going to pray that, because my mom's going to be with me for years to come, I'm going to pray that Americans and the world just find forgiveness in their heart in time. Because the Bonnie that's coming back into her body is such a sweet person that I just want to help her, take care of her, spend time with structure with her, and move on in my life and let her live hers. Okay. God bless. Goodbye.